both 21 when we got married. We were kids. We didn't know what we were doing. It was...
Yo, what? It's hard. It's hard when you're so young and getting married and working in ministry and trying to juggle learning to grow up and...
You never think that a roll of toilet paper will make you fight.
Oh, gosh.
Until you get married at 21.
We still argue
We still argue about
paper.
that, yeah.
I mean,
Should be going down, not.
No.
My parents received a letter from the government that our political asylum case has been denied completely. So they had to leave the country. It was my mom, my dad, and my little brother. Stacy and I filed for me being married to a U.S. citizen. During this whole dealing with immigration deal, Skylar was born. And she just changed our dynamic completely.
She changed our world.
Yeah. Skylar was about 17 months. Our appeal has been denied, and the only way for me to continue on with the case of me being married to an American citizen was to actually leave the country, go back to Colombia, and continue on with our case.
Instantly, it was just fear, terror. Like, we have a daughter. We've been in our home for 5 months now. Everything blew up.
Your life literally just goes upside down.
We were able to talk to our lawyer, and she had told us, if he leaves, maximum, he'll be back in 2 months. So we kind of geared up towards, okay, we can do this. He can leave, and he'll be back in 2 to 3 months.
When I got to Colombia, it was great to see my parents. It was great to see my mom and my dad and my little brother. But that feeling of happiness went by so quickly. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be with my family. I'm supposed to be with my daughter and my wife. Imagine how it is to see your own daughter grow up on a screen. Every single time I would hang up the phone, and even sometimes when I would be talking to them, I would just be bawling. Because I just wanted to be there with them. I saw the pain that Stacy was going through, even though she was so strong during this time. But she was a single mom.
I went down to Colombia with our daughter, Skylar, and we thought that, okay, I'm gonna be down there, I'll be there for the appointment, and then we'll all get to go home together. And the reality is, our journey hadn't even started.
That for me personally, spiritually, was the breaking point. We're at the airport again. Saying bye to my 18-month-old daughter, saying bye to my wife, without knowing how long it was gonna be. Because at this point, we haven't heard anything, nothing at all. I was heavily depressed, I wasn't eating, I wouldn't leave my room.
He was Skyping with us less and less.
I was disconnecting from them because I didn't think I was gonna go back. I even told her one time, I said, I don't know if God's even real right now. Look at where we are now. What is happening now? We put our hope in Him. We're praying every day. I'm praying every day. We have hundreds and hundreds of people praying for us, and nothing is happening.
And I kept saying, what's wrong? Like, something is wrong with you. You need to tell me. And he just said, I can't do this anymore. Like, I want a divorce. And he said he had to go and got off the phone, and that was that.
I was holding them back. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to bring Stacy to live in Colombia with me. There was a reason why my parents got me out of Colombia, so why am I bringing my kid back down to Colombia?
Everything that I had ever feared about our immigration situation was coming true. I kind of just had to change my outlook on it, that like, okay, God, you have a plan in all of this. I don't know what it is, but I am choosing to have faith that we are going to be together. You brought us together. You don't want us apart. Like, Satan wants me to be afraid. Satan wants me to crawl in a hole and not come out of it. He wants me to feed off of all of this, but I am actively choosing you. I'm actively choosing faith over fear. And I said, I'll move there. Like, I don't care if you want me or not. I want Skylar in your life. I want her daddy in America. I had confided into a few of my mentors about Leo and asked them to contact Leo and just to talk to him. And so Kurt Johnston and Rachel Johnston were like, we need to go down there. We need to knock on his door and knock some sense into him. And then we asked one of Leo's best friends, Brian Schwanbeck, to come.
When I first saw Stacy, Rachel, and Brian, it just kind of, you just feel this relief. Stacy and I talked for a good time, and just couple hours, and just, I apologized like 3,000 times. But we just started talking about, okay, how are we gonna do this? Is this possible? What are we gonna do? And the bottom line was that we said whatever it takes. And then my conversation with Brian, because I told him that I was dealing with, just unsure about my faith right now and how things were going. And he just said, just go back to the basics. Just start reading your Bible, praying, go to church, join a small group. I felt like God was just placing my faith back into a more solid foundation of just knowing that no matter what happened, he was going to bring our family together. One morning I woke up and I had my phone next to me, and I saw that I got an email from the embassy. You're thinking this is either really, really good or really, really bad. So I was sitting down on my bed and I was just staring at my phone, and I was like, okay, well, here he goes. And I opened that phone and that email, and it was very simple. I think it was 3 or 4 sentences just saying, hey, we just want to let you know that your case has been approved. All you have to do is go back to the embassy and pick up your paperwork. And it took me like a good 60 seconds for me to realize that it was happening.
22 months after Leo had left, Leo flew into LAX, and that was the best day of my life ever. In the crazy, scary fear, in the unknown, I think we have learned that there's blessings amidst that. You can find peace in the craziness and in the pain, and some of his biggest blessings come out of that.
I went back and met with a couple of pastors from Saddleback Church, and I just said, hey, is there anything available for me to come back and work at the church? The church did so much for our family. I just wanted to be a part of it, no matter what role I was gonna be in. And then I jumped in full time, and we just had different roles. And it was just about 2.5 months ago that they asked us to plant the church in South Bay, Saddleback South Bay.
We were asking the church to have daring faith. So for us, it was like, well, why not? Why not now?
The dream that God has put in my heart is to bring true and honest community to that area. During our time, during our 22 months, Stacy was able to have such an awesome and honest community that that helped her through that time. And for me, it was a little bit different. I didn't have that at first, and then I was able to get it down the road. So community is such an important piece for me as a person, for our story, and I know that it is for God. In that LA County area, everybody's connected. But they don't have an honest, true community that's gonna surround them when things are not going right. As we go to South Bay and we're taking the step of faith, just imagine a community that's taking their step of faith, and just imagine the ripple effect that an act of obedience can make. It's gonna be all around the South Bay. There's over 700,000 people in that area. And really, our church can impact so many lives and really, at the end of the day, it's just impact eternity.